Let's change our worlds together.
Welcome and welcome back for those returning. My name is Deborah Whipke, and I am here creating a community of amazing women coming together. If you are out there and you're saying to yourself, I want to create something new in my life. I want to live a life that I wake up every morning excited to say, wow, I get to live another day. Then this is the place for you. I want to create a community, amazing women to come together to empower each other. And that's what it's all about, to empower each other. Today's video, at the end of the video, I have something to show you, so please stay tuned. But today's video is about why is it so difficult for us to change, especially in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. Back in your 20s, maybe even your early 30s, you had dreams, you had goals, you had things that you wanted to do in your life, things that you wanted to accomplish in your life. And somewhere along the line, if you're like me, you got sidetracked. You got sidetracked into other things. And your life became about, I have to, I should, rather than I choose to, I want to. And you see the difference in those things? If you get up every day and you say, I have to go to work, I have to do this, I have to do that, then your life is most likely not fulfilling because it's full of I have to rather than I choose to, I want to. So why is it so difficult for us to change? So in my 20s and into my early 30s, I was crafting. I was a major crafter. I had a small crafting business. It never really took off big, but it was small. I started doing cakes because I wanted a specialty cake for my daughter's birthday when she was little. And at that time, I could not afford to give her one of those big, fancy, beautiful 3D cakes. So I learned how to do it myself. And then I graduated to making molded candies. And then that morphed into making t-shirts because that's, they were super popular. And so I started making them. I made all sorts of different things. I ended up making wooden lawn ornaments, which I totally loved. I would spend 8 to 10 hours a day in my basement, cutting, sanding, filling the holes of the plywood, painting them, and just, I loved it. I really loved it. I spent a lot of time. Then through a series of changes, I started college, and everything, all of that got put on the back burner, and I didn't craft again for years. Probably close to 10 years, I didn't even do any crafts. And then I started to try to get into it again a little bit, but I was in grad school at the time and there was just too much going on. And so I didn't do anything about it. So the reason I'm telling you this is because back then, even though I still didn't have full confidence in my crafting. I would look at a cake and I would see the smallest little details. Everybody else would look at it and be like, oh my Lord, that's the most amazing cake I've ever seen. But to me, I'm seeing all the little flaws and things, and that's normal. We do that. But I never thought to myself, I'm not capable of doing this. I'm not capable of learning this new thing or this new technique. I never thought to myself, I knew back then, I guess, that I would just practice and practice until I figured it out. But as we age, that voice inside of us, and we all have it, it becomes louder. It becomes more intimidating even when we take on something new. It even becomes controlling and intolerant in a way. So I'm going to use myself as an example. I just started crafting a few weeks ago again. I am into polymer clay jewelry. And so I was spending the weekend crafting and having a blast. I was making all sorts of different things. I was trying out all these different new techniques and things, brand new to me. I've never done this before. And I literally was having a blast. And then evening came, I came out, sit down, watch some TV, an hour or so before I go to bed. And I'm hearing this voice in my head. Why are you doing this? What is this for? Do you think you're going to sell them? You know they're not good enough to sell. And I literally, it brought me up short, and I'm like, what is going on here? What are you doing? So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to listen to that voice. Next weekend comes, I'm crafting again. I'm spending the weekend. I'm having a great time. I mean, I am literally like a little kid, like enjoying myself, having so much fun at doing this new thing. And again, as soon as I stop doing it, I hear that voice. And this time it's a little bit louder. And this time it's a little more intimidating. And it's like, really, what do you think you're doing? And you're just wasting money anyways. You've bought this stuff, you're wasting your money. And what is the point to all of this? And again, it brought me up short, and I'm like, what on earth? Who are you? So here's the thing. In our youth, there's this certain invincibility about us when we're younger, when we're in our 20s, and again, into our early 30s for the most time. But as we age, that invincibility shrinks down more and more and more. Until one day when we take up something new, such as learning to make polymer clay, jewelry, we don't have that invincibility anymore. We don't have that inside of us anymore that knows that just if we just practice or whatever, we'll get better. That voice has learned to control us more than what we recognize. That's why our world shrinks smaller and smaller and smaller, because that voice of fear, that's what I call it anyways, the voice of fear, but because you can name it anything you want to name it. Anything you want to name it. But the voice of fear comes in and starts to convince you you can't do things. It's too late. Too much time has passed. And this is what happens whenever we attempt in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond again. Whenever we attempt, whenever we say, I am sick of living a life of I have to, and I want to create a life that I choose to. That voice, and this is why I'm making this video, because I want you to be aware. Start to listen to it, pay attention to it, but then put it in its place. Take back control, take back your power, and say, I'm not going to listen to you. The other night, again, third weekend in a row, I'm creating all these amazing crafts. I'm having so much fun. I just can't even tell you how much fun I had. And was in such joy. And again, I hear that voice and I'm like, what? Get away from me. I'm not listening to you. I'm creating a fulfilling life. And that means that I want to do things that bring me joy. I want to do things that light me up. I want to do things that are fun and exciting. And get out of my comfort zone. So, again, you have to pay attention to it. But recognize the fact, you can take back control. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to say, oh, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore then. And just go back and sit on the couch and not do anything. So if you look around you at other women out there, maybe just women, you know, that you read about in a magazine, or maybe some women that you know, maybe it's your neighbor down the road. Maybe she has always gone for her dreams, that she's always doing something new and different and exciting and fun. You know what? She never ever listened to that voice. It never got control. But for those of us who allowed that voice to get control and allowed our worlds to shrink down a little bit smaller, those are who I'm speaking to right now. You are who I'm speaking to right now, because you are the ones like me that you're ready for a different way of life, but you just don't know what to do. And when you start something new and that controlling, intimidating voice comes in and you're like, okay, wait, I'm just going to go back to the way things were. I'm ready for the big reveal now. So without further ado, okay, time for the big reveal that I promised. So as I said, I had done crafts in my earlier 20s, but I did other sorts of crafts at that time. I recently, just in the last few weeks, actually got into polymer clay. So these are a few of the pieces that I have been working on.
Made this yesterday. Best day ever. This I am completely in love with, and I actually just freeformed that design. Totally love, love, love how that came out. Some of these are made with different types of canes. That piece as well, I just freeformed. And these are called Makunegane, and they come out different with every single design that you do and every color combination. This was a cane that I did. Some of these are just about finished, some are not finished. This was a combination of two different things that I put together. This was a heart cane, and I just added the black to it. And this was also a heart cane, and I am completely in love with these designs. Oh, got my fingernail in there. I've been working hard on these designs, so my nails are a little bit a mess right now. But I just wanted to share with you.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really, really do. Leave me a comment in the section below. Let me know what you are working on or what you want to work on to make these changes in your life so that you don't live a life anymore of I have to. Make sure to hit that like button and share it with others. Help me to grow this amazing community of women. Send me an email and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much.